The X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, rel-mar McConnell Media Company, the X Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I am your host. I am your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And tonight's show is being brought to you around the world on Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, iHeartRadio, Simul Radio, and Simul TV, and of course, the X Zone Broadcast Network itself. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone at xzoneradiotv.com on all social media sites, X Zone Radio TV. And to find out about the programming we have available for you 24/7, 365 on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net. X Zone Nation, my guest this hour is J.R. Freeman, and he's the author of the Otherworld and Beyond book series. He's a United States Air Force veteran of 18 years that had two near-death experiences where he experienced the afterlife. Joining me now is J.R. Freeman. J.R., welcome to the X Zone.
Glad to be here, Rob.
Well, first of all, sir, thank you for your service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
J.R., tell us about your two near-death experiences.
Well, what had happened to me, I had an infection from four brain operations from hydrocephalus, which is fluid in the brain that collected, and it put me in a comatose state for a year.
Oh, my gosh.
And I went into the afterlife on the operating table for a brief moment on my first operation. But I came through, but I was just a glimpse into the other world, and then I came back. But the second one that put me in a coma for the year, that's when the one that actually took me for a longer time in there, and I seen stuff that that's mostly controversial. I'm saying that you didn't see anything, but here is the consciousness. If I knew I didn't see anything, then that consciousness exists, so I did exist in that place. So that's what the big debate about if I'm actually dead or am I alive during that time.
J.R., can you describe what you saw on the second time that you were on the other side for a longer period of time?
Well, I went through a tunnel, and at the tunnel was a light, and then the light opened up, and it was a room of nothing but white. And this voice came out and started talking to me, and tell them that, we've been with you, you have to go back. The things that's what needs to be told that the changes in this world is going to happen, not only to the world, but to us as well.
Right.
So that's why it sent me back for this moment to tell this, that we do not die, basically. There's no dying. And think about this body in this world. It only operates in this 3D level that we are on. There's dimensions of different levels. So, like a 2D and 3D. 2D, we cannot, like for art instance, the 2D is graphic is flat. The 3D is more popped out and more angled with the light. So the light reflects around it. That's why we cannot see. So anyway, see these beings, and I couldn't see it at the time who I was talking to, but it had a warm feeling like I knew this person, and I wanted to stay, and he said, "You cannot."
Now, was that the first time you had a near-death experience, or the second time?
That was the second time. The first time I came, the first time I went through was a brief moment to stay there and just to see that something exists. But they brought me back through. The doctors, the military doctors, brought me through, and I, woke up, and that was it for that.
Sure.
For that brief moment.
But the second time, how long do you believe, or how long did it seem that you were on the other side, conversing, or in this white room?
Well, the time is no time in that world, so the time frame was. It was just moments, and I had no connection to anything, basically. And like you would see, like, this is my clothes. I didn't care what I was wearing. I didn't care about the thoughts of what was back home. I had no feeling of what you look like or the feeling of, of anything personal. It was more like a collective thought, but all of us together as myself saying, I'm hungry, you hungry, and we all know that thought exists. So it was not no connection of it, of what we connect to this world as being here. I love it there.
Was it hard for you to come back?
Well, I wanted to come. Well, I was sent back. I was told to go back.
I see.
Because I had to come back here. And this is the thing what's really intriguing, because this I never had this problem before until I had the near-death experience. But before then, when I was born in Louisiana, I had sense of spirits around me at all time because the voodoo practices going on in that area, and I knew about spirits, so they exist at that place, and I was tormented all this time, and I ran away from it during my life. So that it was always in confidence around me all my life. But when I died, it brought back a memory saying we were there. And here's the thing: when I did die and I came back, this being came to me again in this world and told me, say, I've been with you. I say, no, you haven't. I say, well, prove it. And say, well, go to your photo albums and look at all the albums that you've been to, all these clubs that you went to, all these strip clubs, and all the things that you did in the military that all the military guys do. I was there. I say, no, you wasn't. I say, okay. So I started reviewing those. And in those pictures was this light. And I could not figure out what the world that light was. I went through my photo albums and I said, and I saw it, and it's like, here's this light. I said, and it said, that's me. And I kept flipping through it. That's me. And I said, oh my God. So I started going through all of them, and then I showed my sister, and she's like, I don't know what that could be. And everybody else I showed it to, they say, who is that behind that? Well, I want you to see who is behind this light. I want you to see what this is, this image. And they would say, I don't know. So, and this thing was saying it was, that's me. So that confused me. And so now it's like, am I that creature? Am I that light? Because it said we are the children of light. And this body that we have that, we no longer have it because it dies off and we move on into the other world. So that's what I want to bring out to people, that this is not the end of us, what's going on. It's the beginning.
When you look back at the time that you spent in this, the other side, how has that experience changed your life when you came back on this side? Oh my God, I'm glad you asked that, because now, before I didn't have this thought that we have now. Like, I want to connect with people and tell them that there's something else than this world. There's something better. And I always kept quiet, even though that I had problems back at home when I was young in Louisiana, and I never told it to anybody until after my near-death experience. And it started changing me, and not only changed me in the way of, the physically, but the mental knowledge that was in this
digital, like a mainframe, like a computer. I want to say like a computer, have all this knowledge, and you can grasp this knowledge, and you can pull it out and come to this world, and you start viewing future events, not only just the future events, but knowledge of like an inspiration. Most of the people have these inspirations when they, like for instance, like I have an idea,
right?
Like this Elon Musk. It was the Elon Musk, like he invented this
right?
Marvelous car,
mm-hmm.
and these marvelous inventions. It's like, how do these people think of these things? And it's just, and that was when I started inventing stuff out of nowhere. And one person said, "Well, how did you know about this?" I said, "Well, I don't know. I just knew." And I never started inventing stuff like this before. The knowledge just poured out of me. And now I don't want to give out my information because people will steal it. And that's why I stopped giving out, doing these inventions. Sure. So I said, I'm just going to write this book.
All right, JR, you and I have to take our first break. Please stand by. Exo Nation, JR Freeman is our special guest. His website is www.jrfreemanauthor.com. And JR and I will be back on the other side of this break as we continue to investigate his visit to the other side and how this visit has changed his life forever. We'll be back on the other side of this break. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone, and we're coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV. Plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
We live in rapidly shifting times of extreme volatility and uncertainty. Such profound change brings a unique opportunity for the evolution of consciousness. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka, host of Mission Evolution Radio Show, a program that explores the latest scientific developments and deepening spiritual truths supporting human evolution. Join me on XZBN.net, where I interview leading experts in science, physics, medicine, spirituality, and more. By applying divergent viewpoints to leading-edge topics, we uncover expansive and evolutionary truth to assist you on your path to enlightenment. More information and past episodes are available at missionevolution.org.
And welcome back. J.R. Freeman is my special guest. His website is www.jrfreemanauthor.com. And before we went to the commercial break, we were talking to J.R. about his experience that he had during 2 near-death experiences and how this experience changed his life. Now, you were saying, J.R., that you've come up with several inventions, and how, what are you doing with these inventions? Are you developing them? Are you getting them out to the market? Are they inventions that will help mankind? What kind of inventions are they?
Well, the first one I had was as a cleaning wipe for us, but I gave my least amount of the one that I really didn't care too much about, just to get my feet wet.
Sure.
But the one I have is so wonderful, because even though it was tragic in my life to go through this, but my military job, when I was working as an aircraft mechanic, as a hydraulic specialist, and here it is, I had a condition with hydrocephalus, exactly my job. So I'm like, I went through all these operations with these valves, and all of them seem to not work. Even the one I have with me right now, that it fails so many times, and I'm just having complications. I just deal with it.
Oh my gosh!
And I have the invention to fix this, but I don't want to give it out to the wrong person to actually, because I did it with the first one, and they took it, and other companies just started manufacturing it, and I don't have time to go around trying to chase everyone down to try to get this out of their hands. And that's the thing. How it is like a I'll take your knowledge and I'll use it for myself, and that's what probably a lot of people who've gained this access to this, because it's open, it's freely for everyone to obtain this information from this like a source of consciousness, and these ideas and expressions come out, and that's why these guys are having so much difficulty with their inventions, and there are other people that's sabotaging their stuff. Their inventions, so they can maintain their control over this, and that's why I think the government is trying to dummy down people so they won't know, so they won't gain this knowledge.
All right, let me ask you this: how has your experience, your 2 near-death experiences, and the subsequent encounters that you've had since then, how have they affected your religious beliefs?
Oh, my religious beliefs, at first it was, I'm glad you said it, because at first it was, how the spiritual is constructed, the religions is constructed, and how they said we are agreeing that there is one deity, there is one God, there's one of this one, or Jesus Christ, or this. Or some people would say in another religion, that there is this person, this Yahshua, or another one. But in this part is what I dissected with all this time, with 10 years after this, was that it's a collective of we. It's not just one. And when it comes down to it, because I'm glad I'm always on your show, and I've been listening to you, and with your interviews, and when people think of religion and think of a spiritual and think of aliens and think of other beings from other worlds, I think of it as an intellect as far as a knowledge, because it's like one of the same.
Would it be, sometimes I've had people here on the show who've tried to explain it to me, and they use the expression from Star Trek, The New Generation, the Borg, where everybody can understand and tap into each other's mind, and they work together as a collective.
Yes. That's how these beings operate. That's basically how they all operate as far as how things go. And they have this dispute between each other. But we go about the spiritual realm, what they're talking about, the life and death of us, because I said that we don't die.
Right.
But the thing is that it's a pace that we're steady going forward to, and we're evolving. And most people, like, they say that they're awake now, and they don't understand why people don't see the things that they see and say, I know this is not going the right way, and they could feel it. and say, I don't believe this anymore with the spiritual, the religions. I'm more spiritual. I'm aware of things that I've been lied to all my life, or something that I know there's something else than what I've been told. And it's out there. The information is out there for people. Now it's really out there because it's more information is being disseminated and going out to more people.
JR, would you say that we all have spirits that follow us or spirits that watch over us?
Yes. Yes, we do. We have these type of beings that watch over us, especially this in my first book when I wrote about, this is even before I had my operation. Like I said, I had encounters with other beings, and I was driving to California one day, and I was very tired. And that voice, the same voice I was telling you about, was talking to me and said, "I'll drive for you." I said, "What is this?" and I said, "I'm sleeping," and I didn't believe what was going on. This voice that was talking to me. So I was like, "I'm just tired. I know I'm just sleepy. I'm just hallucinating because I'm so tired." But after a while, I just gave in, and I was just so exhausted, and so I was driving, and then all of a sudden I woke up. I was driving in Arizona, and I woke up in California still driving the car. And that white light was inside of me, and I looked in the mirror, and I didn't see myself anymore. And that's when you said, how do you feel when you came back? Right. And it's a feeling like I'm disconnected. I'm not myself. I didn't know who that person was in the rearview mirror. I was like, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, and I'm just looking, and it's like, what is that? And I couldn't figure out what it was. And I looked to my side. My daughter was sitting, sleeping, and I couldn't figure out what that was and what it is. And it's like what and I was like, who is controlling this? And I didn't control myself. I didn't know about myself. And it's like, who is controlling this car? Is it me or is it you? And that's when the light came on and said I'm almost out of gas. And that's the only reason why it woke me up, because the gas needle was on E, and it was blinking and making noise. And I pulled over to the gas station. I called my mother. I said, "Mom, I don't understand." And I explained it to her. It's like what had happened. And she said, "Boy, she said in a southern accent, you need to go to the church, boy. You need to go to church. You need to start praying to God." And it's like, oh my God. And I said, "You didn't understand. This is how way above that. It's something else that's inside of me." Right. And I couldn't figure out what it was.
See, I've got a theory, JR, that the reason why people are going to spirituality or to other forms of religious belief is because Christianity and the established religious philosophies have not kept up with the times. And if we're looking at what happened to you as this light, this spirit, this angel that guided you, took over for you when you were so darn tired and prevented you from having an accident or falling asleep at the wheel. And if we were to put the events that happened to you like you have done in modern day terminology, we can actually relate it to some of the Bible stories, like your guardian angel and so on. Does this ring true with you?
Yes. Yes, it does. I'm glad you said that, because my father is a minister, and all this time we would go to church, and I would pray, and all this time of prayer, nothing would happen. Nothing would happen. I was wondering if I was praying wrong, or what was I praying to? And the thing what came in our house is like this black smoke, and I was like, my dad's a minister. Why are we having all these problems? Yeah. What is going on? Why are we having those things in Louisiana? And all my life is like we're not alone on this planet. We're not alone. And most people think that we are. That's it. It's not. There's more beings. It's basically, this place is a zoo, and just we are being examined by these beings, and actually it's changing us, and they want to see our progression. And all my experiences, and that's what I'm thinking. I say, did the military experiment on me, or did these beings made this happen to me? Because I don't even know what happened, why I started having this condition of hydrocephalus. Most children are born with this.
Right.
Here I am. I'm like 30-some years old with how did you get hydrocephalus? And they asked me, what happened to you? I don't know. They said, maybe I got hit on the head. I don't know what happened. And then what was oddly about this, that the military doctor, one of the military doctors in neurosurgeon in England told me, you're faking this. You're just making this up. I said, I'm not making this up. I don't want you to just drill in my head. This is crazy. Why would I want you to do that? And ever since then, he just disappeared. This guy, they took him away. I don't know what happened with him. I never saw him again after that.
All right, JR, stand by, my good friend. You and I have to take our commercial break with the news at the bottom of the hour. Stand by. And Exonation, my guest this hour is J.R. Freeman. His website is www.jrfreeman.com, and he's the author of The Otherworld and Beyond. And we'll continue this fascinating conversation with JR on the other side of the news. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. Don't go away.
Broadcast studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, to the world and beyond. You're watching the X Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
AVS Media Den.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X-Zone, Sci-Fi, and Horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world, interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, after the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
futureofgodamen.com.
J.R. Freeman is our guest, X-Zone Nation. He's the author of The Otherworld and Beyond. And his website is www.jrfreemanauthor.com. What is the consensus of people that you've had the opportunity of talking to about your experience? Do they believe you? Do they disbelieve you?
Mostly the ones I've encountered do not believe me, but the ones who do connect, the ones that said they're awakened, they understand where I'm coming from, because most of them, I checked with people who had near-death experience, and their information is similar to what I experienced. So obviously there's something tangible that I must say, that we are not here to be just to live and die. There's more to us than just that.
Let me ask you this, J.R. Why is it that some people can see these spirits or the light like you've seen and others can't?
Well, I've seen them ever since I was born. I don't know how those people cannot see them or feel them around. I sense things with these beings with my spiritual eyes, and mostly the frequency changes inside in my area, and I can sense things around me. People can't see them because they don't search out and look for it. They run through their mundane life. It's like I eat, sleep, drink, and go to work, come back, pay my taxes, and do my things. And they so content on this world, they become part of it. And I slipped into that a couple of times, and I had to pull myself back into reality where I really supposed to be at this point where I'm at right now, learning more about this light.
In your opinion, based on your experiences, what messages do these spirits want to share with us in the rest of the world through you, through your experience, through your heart?
Well, I know we have to become one people, and that's what it's coming down to. And we're battling and fighting each other. It's never going to work that way. And just imagine if we're trying to search for another life, if we're trying to search for other beings from in a distant planet or something like that. If we cannot get along with each other here, how can we get along with people, other beings from another place, or even after we pass on? How can we get along with someone else that's there? And the thing about what it brings out, this energy that's inside of me, it helps people understand that there's something out there that can help you, and through me I can help other people. I've been doing it all this time ever since I came back, and they have problems in their life. Maybe they have, they're sick or something's wrong with their family. They can't seem to have somebody's on drugs. They can't have a good relationship with their husband or a good relationship with their wife. Someone has left them. I've helped them out. So it's something that's inside of me that emanates to other people and gives them hope that things will never be the same. They always change.
Can you share with us one of the situations that you were able to help with?
Well, I can't tell the person's name.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that, and I respect that.
Because that's a confidentiality. Because I have to get their permission.
Of course.
But the person I've spoken to, there was a woman who had somebody that was on drugs. Her daughter was on drugs, and she tried to get her off of it. And she went to, she's Hispanic, and she took her to the priest. She took her to the pastor. She took her to different places. Took her to all these different establishments for them to try to change her. And I gave her instructions of what she needed to do, and I sent her the blessing salt. Told her what she needed to do. She did it, And then she came back, and she talked to my sister. She's like, what did JR did that nobody else could do for me? And he changed my daughter. Now she's going to school. She's got herself back together. She's off those drugs, and she's getting her life together. And all this time, after 10 years of her being in this problem, she just when I did that, it turned over. And she's like, and my mom was saying, "You bought his book? You know that book is $50. You know, why would you buy that?" She said, "I had to. And I didn't want to. I had to buy this book because I knew that JR wasn't lying. That I knew when I saw him that I knew that he was going to help me, and I knew whatever he had to do, whatever it needs to be done, it happened." This one person that was in the Philippines, the same thing with him. He was not with drugs or anything, but he's a guy who had a hotel, and he could not. He wanted to buy off this property, and nobody would sell it, and you can't buy property over there unless you know somebody. And so I said, I really don't want to do this because I don't want to hurt anybody and get nobody. But they said, this man don't even live on that property. Nobody's on this property. You don't want to sell it. And so I say, since you helped me, I'm going to help you. And I did what I had to do for him. And the next thing you know, I come back 2 years later, he's on the property. He already got his hotel. Things of that nature. I help lots of people like that. And I want to help more. All they have to do is call me or go to my website and call me. And we'll go through the process of and help them. This woman in England, the same thing with her. She's like, this woman that she moved in my apartment, I could not get her out. She's eating up my food. She's doing all kind of, she's just eating my food. She's doing all kind of stuff in my place, tearing my place up, and I leaving her shoes on the table. And I was like,
oh, wow.
Why would you let this woman in? Mm-hmm.
So what did you? How were you able to help her get that person out?
She used the blessing salt that I put in. I took my spirit, and I can't really tell you the process, but most people can do it. And I'll put it this way: objects contain certain amounts of energy.
Right.
And I took my energy and I placed it inside this salt, and I gave it to that person. And whatever they do with this salt, and what I tell her to do, the instructions that is in my book, in my first book, and I told her to do that, and these things will happen for them. They don't have a job, I give them a job. They don't have a husband or they don't have a wife, I give them a husband and wife. This guy in UAE, we was on the launch truck while I was in the military before my death. He asked me the same thing. He's like, I want me a woman. I said, well, what kind of woman you want? Why you can't get a woman? He said, I just can't now. And he didn't want to say. And I was like, well, what you mean you can't get a woman? He said, well, I want me a black woman. I just laughed. I was like, what? And because he's a Caucasian guy, right. And here we are in UAE, in the Middle East.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And I said, I don't do these things for people unless, they have done something out of kindness. And I know that they are having, they did something for me, and I want to do this for you. So I did that for him. And the next day, and it happened so quickly for him, he was flabbergasted, and said, oh, what's going on? Who are you? And he jumped out the truck. We was on this launch truck where I was telling you that we fixed the aircraft, and we all workers on this truck. And if a plane breaks, we go out there and fix it. So we all sitting on this truck in the desert, waiting for the plane to take off. And he jumps out of the truck, running in the desert. And I said, where is this guy running to? Run him down, go get him. Yeah. So he gets back on the truck. He said, what is wrong with you? I said, he said, I can't talk to you. And he was just stuttering. He just couldn't control himself. He was just so afraid. And that's why I say, I think I can't tell anybody about this. So I kept quiet after that for years. And that was in 1996 or something like that, 97. And so it was way before my operation. So I did not talk to anyone after this, and I didn't help anybody until after my incident.
I'd like to ask you a question, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way because there's no malice intended. But why do you think you were chosen to do the work you're doing?
I think it comes to a heart. When you have the heart,
Mm-hmm.
it chooses people. It chooses, and I've been chosen at birth. I
Right.
didn't walk into this. It's something like I want to do this, and my mom wanted to place me in being a minister. I said I don't want to do that, and I never did. I said I don't want to be a minister. I don't want to do that. It's not my calling, and it's something. If I can give this to somebody else, please, you can have it. And all my torment, all the pain that I went through, all my deaths and all this, you can have it. That person, if they want to feel it, that's a blessing, because it's more of a torment to me, and it hurts. I get depressed a lot, but I still go and I still help people, and I'm still kind towards others. But the thing is, the kindness doesn't come back to me. It's not reciprocated, so it's like,
I'm sorry to hear that. I truly am.
Mm-hmm.
Stand by. We've got to take our final break. And when we come back, wrapping up this hour, we'll continue this conversation with our very special guest this hour, J.R. Freeman. His website is www.jrfreemanauthor.com. And he's the author of The Otherworld and Beyond, as well as other books. We're going to be talking to J.R. about his other books when we come back to this place that I call the X Zone, Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern. And J.R. and I return. Interesting story. Interesting man. It's nice to know there are people out there who care enough to give, to help. This is what the world needs more of. Thank you for being with us, J.R. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
The new nonfiction book, Razor of Madness, is similar to cult movies like Clockwork Orange, Dragon's Tattoo, or The Other Side of Hell. Wayne Morin Jr. and Thomas Lee Howe will expose widespread and systematic deficiencies in this thought-provoking tell-all novel. Mind control rages among scholars in law schools. Human rights are ignored while thought reform and mental manipulation are accepted practices used as behavior modification. Dr. Louis Jolyon West comes to mind. Media and public scrutiny shows that United States mental hospitals are in fact destructive murder industries. Razor of Madness expose novel details this epidemic through an in-depth professional and personal investigation. For decades, there has been a revolving door policy that still releases killers and pedophiles back into society. The maestro of mind control continues to haunt America to this very day. Razor of Madness is available in paperback or as a downloadable ebook at Amazon.com.
The concept of a new age has been around since the late 19th century, yet much of its original meaning has been lost. What exactly is the new age? Is it a religion, a collection of obscure esoteric practices, a series of doomsday predictions, or an astrological event? The New Age Chronicles is a unique complementary publication bringing reason and grounded information to separate fact from fiction. Chock full of valuable information to support you as we make the monumental shift into the new era. You won't want to miss a single innovative issue. The New Age Chronicles newspaper is coming soon to www.newagechronicles.com.
J.R. Freeman is my special guest this hour, Exonation. His website is www.jrfreemanauthor.com, and he's the author of The Otherworld and Beyond. And an amazing story with a man who has helped many people in many situations, in many places around the world. First of all, J.R., thank you so much for coming on the show. A great pleasure having you with us. And I love the work that you're doing, and I appreciate the work that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's something that's inside of me that I really want to do for people, and I'm just a people person, and I just don't like people to suffer, no matter who you are. I'll help anyone. As far as if they believe they can be helped, I can help them.
You said if they believe. I believe that belief is the strongest power in the universe, and that when you believe, anything is possible.
Yes, it is. I love it. It's always done for me.
Yeah.
And this light is just so wonderful, and I want to bring that out to people to let them see. I've taken pictures of it. If they can go to the website and view the gallery,
Right.
On Facebook too.
What is your Facebook address?
It's the same thing as my book. The name of my book's The Otherworld and Beyond.
Okay, so that's facebook.com/Otherworld and Beyond, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After all the work that you've done, after all the communications that you've had with spirits and the work that you do, would you say that our existence is already mapped out?
Yes. Oh, we are being programmed just as well as the television. As far as you saying being mapped out, I'm glad you said that, because, yes, the things with my decision is my purpose is where I'm from, what I need to do, and where I need to go forward to. Each one of us has a purpose in life, and all we have to do is tap into that knowledge, what I said about this information bank, digital library, and we can gain knowledge to actually guide us through our life.
But how do you get someone who does not have the ability right now to believe because of everything else that they've been taught and programmed? How do we deprogram them in order for them to understand what their purpose really is?
Let go and forget, and then install it's like a digital computer.
Mm-hmm.
When you delete, even so some of that information is still there. It's where you open yourself up to actually grasp this information and say, look, I want to dig deeper into this. And then you slowly digest the information that I've given and then relate it to other information that you find. You can Google it or whatever you want to go to the library and read about it, and you can start seeing things that start opening for you. I placed this in my first book, that power, and it's in the words. Like I said before, this energy that we can put in, just like I put the energy in the salt, I put energy into this book, and it will open you up. If you're looking for it, it's there.
When was the last time that you saw your spirit light?
When the last time I saw it? Last week.
Wow.
I was in bed, and it just flashed. It's like a flash, and a flash of light, and I know it's there, and I hear things in the house started, like the floors creaking, just the normal occurrences that I had in Louisiana, and I know something's there, and I can hear something, a presence that comes. You know, when you feel that presence coming into the room, like somebody just walk in, you turn around, you look, and you say, "What are you coming in here for?" You know, and you feel them come in. That's what I sense, because they're light, and they can bend the light around them. You cannot see them. That's why I said you need to take a lot of pictures to actually to catch the images of this. And if they want to, I can go visit them, and then they can just take pictures and see for themselves with their own camera this spirit, or whatever you want to call it, white light.
White light. Now, you and I were
Well, that's
talking.
what
You and I were talking during the commercial break about the other books you've written, and what explain to our listeners how you came to writing all the books you've done. I found that very interesting.
How I came? Oh, when I came through, I was wheelchair bound. I could not walk. My whole body went into atrophy as being in a coma, being comatose. So they sent me to my mother's home, so where I can actually, go to physical therapy and then try to bend my legs and get me back walking again. So I'm lying in the bed, and I can walk just a little, barely, just a little bit. And so my mom had a minister come to the house, and as soon as he walked through the door, well, my door, like I said, something came inside, and I was like, okay, she's showing me off again. So that's when that the spirit came through. Well, you want to say, I say spirit, white light, whatever it may be, came in my room and started to get up. And that's when it took me through a whole process. And then finally, when it told me at the end, it said, and I say, who are you? He said, and that's what I said, I met you before, and I've been with you. And he said, well, what you want from me? He said, I want you to write this book. And I said, what book? He said, remember that book that you was trying to write in 1992? You didn't know what you want to write or how to even start writing? I said, yes, I don't like to write. And he said, well, I'm going to show you what to write. And so I started writing. He said, start with your life. And starting with the right, and then I start adding stuff into, so I start writing about this man going to become president, and then the second in charge, Gabby Giffords, getting shot in the head and instantly healed. And then the second in command, which is Donald Trump, was going to take this a whole new spin on what's going on right now. All the stuff that's happening, all these natural disasters. Here I am writing this stuff in the bed.
Wow.
And I didn't even know what was going on. I was writing I thought it was 7 chapters, but it came out to be 7 books. I didn't sleep at all. I was writing day and night. And I didn't have the money to publish all 7 at one time, so I had to do each one once a year until I get them out. But it's just amazing if they ever get a chance to read those.
Now, where are your books available? Where can our listeners find them?
They can get them on my website, or they can get them at Barnes & Noble or Amazon. You can go to my website, and I can send you a copy, signature one,
right,
at jrfreemanauthor.com. And also have my phone number on there if they want to talk about their life or whatever, and if I can see if I can help them. So it is a perilous time right now that people need help. There's so much false help out there, so much false people that actually take their money and just, here you are.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. The internet is full of those people who claim to do a lot, but in reality, they're nothing else but scammers, and they just want your money.
Yeah, I'm not like that. Just give me a shot. Just give me a try. And if you don't believe me, just buy me a cup of coffee, we'll go just talk over it.
Listen, what are your final thoughts for the what's your message that you would like to give from your heart right now to all the people who are listening to you around the world on the X Zone?
If you have anything that needs help, give me a shot. As far as it could be, just whatever that's bugging you, whatever is a problem you have problems with today, there is a solution. I'm here to help you. Not somebody else is going to try to take from you. I'm here to give to you, not to take.
You're a good man, JR. You're a good man.
I try to be as much as I can, sir.
And it comes across. I can hear it in your voice. I can certainly hear it. What's next for you? What are you going to be doing next? You've got 7 books. What's next?
Profits for Profits. How to manipulate objects and how to manipulate matter.
Now that's going to be a very interesting book. When is it coming out?
After I finish these books, so maybe like after 2024. After our first, I forgot about that. It's 2024, we having a major event. 2036, we having another major event. And each 6 years, which is in my first book, which I wrote, we're having a major event that's going to happen. And that's the reason why I want to help people. I'm glad you said that, Rob. I'm really glad you said that, because that brings a lot of my heart.
JR, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all our listeners tonight for joining us. And we look forward to the next time that you come back here in the X Zone and share some more of yourself and your stories. And maybe you can tell us what's going to be happening in 2024 and every 6 years after.
Okay, that'd be great.
Take care, my good friend. Thank you so much for joining us, and be well, and thank you for all you do.
Okay.
Bye-bye now, JR. Exonation, J.R. Freeman has been our guest this hour. www.jrfreemanauthor.com. You know, I've been doing this show 28 years, and I can tell when somebody is talking from the heart. And I'll tell you something right now, Exonation. The man that you listened to this hour was talking from his heart. People like that are very rare in this world of ours. Visit his website, www.jrfreemanauthor.com. I'll be back on the other side of this break with the news at 6.5 minutes past the top of the hour. Don't go away. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone.
Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Are you or is someone you know struggling with addictions, depression, anxiety, relationships, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, grief, success, and prosperity? Do you know that your subconscious belief plays a big role in the outcome of your hard work? We can help you permanently change the beliefs that may be the reason for your struggles and failures. We care about getting you the return on your investment and the results you are looking for. We can help you be free of the limitations of your past and in realizing your highest potential. We work with people by phone and Skype. For more information, visit us at www.ritasoman.com. That's www.ritasoman.com. Do you think you have energy problems in your home? Do you feel better when you're away than when you're home? Joey Korn is a global leader in the world of dowsing who specializes in personal energy clearing and space clearing. He can help you create an ideal energy environment in your home no matter where you live in the world. Learn about his remote spiritual house cleaning services and much more at www.dowsers.com. You can get Joey's book, Dowsing, A Path to Enlightenment, as well as other dowsing books and tools, Kabbalah books, and Walter Russell books. Joey's work is really amazing. Go to dowsers.com right now. That's DOWSERS.com or call 1-877-DOWSING. That's 1-877-369-7464.